Ramble.
Quick shout out to Audible and Skillshare for sponsoring this episode of the TryPod. Hey there, Miles Nation. We know everyone out there loves Miles Bonsignore. It's me, Eugene, and I am back, bitch. That's right. It's Eugene. Hello, everyone. Today, Zach is going to give us a little 1-minute review of his favorite movie, Hobbs and Shaw.
Boom.
And then, I think we'll just bask in the glory that is Miles and Miles Nation's great influence on the Try Guys.
Wow.
I don't know. Did you guys talk about how many people on tour came in Miles Nation t-shirts?
Are you telling me that you haven't listened to the 2 episodes that you missed?
Oh, how long did you guys talk about that?
When you're not away from us, you don't go into a room and listen to the podcast so that you can catch up with your buddies?
I'm not really a podcast guy.
Well, you are a podcast guy.
I am a podcast guy, as in a guy in a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to podcasts very much. I'm sorry. I'm like the filmmaker that doesn't watch the movie in the end.
In fairness, you also don't listen to anything in your car
Except
ever.
NPR, yeah.
Yeah. It was sometimes not even that.
That's basically a podcast.
I know,
is a
but
podcast.
it's because
You're an NPR
haven't
guy.
we been over this in my car makeover video? It's so old. I don't have any of the newfangled connections that can stream from your phone.
I told you I got a guy.
Oh, you got a guy?
I got a guy.
Oh, you got a guy.
Matt's always got a guy.
Yeah, I have a car that basically still has
Yeah.
a CD player. I can't do anything besides play the radio.
Tell you
Not
what,
even a cassette.
$150, I'll get you hooked up with Bluetooth nonstop.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
How's that work?
Well, you take the car radio that comes with it out, and then you put in a new aftermarket radio. But obviously that's made this or last year, so it's got Bluetooth, it's got a CD player.
I need one of those because mine is asking for a code that I do not have.
I tell you what, Miles, I got a guy.
Wait a minute.
What does that mean? What's that?
Yeah.
If you get me that guy, then
Yeah.
I can start listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
Like
this one.
This American Life.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
that's the one that you already have access to on NPR.
Oh, like how it was made.
That's also
That
NPR.
one's really good.
That's NPR.
Then I can finally listen to all the NPR podcasts I can't listen to.
Yeah. I've been in the car with you sometimes, and it's just silence. No music, no
Yeah.
nothing. We carpool occasionally, and it's crazy to me. The idea of being in a metal box for 45 minutes with no noise.
Really?
No, it blows my mind.
No, I'm with you, Gene. I'm into it. It's kind of peaceful to me. Sometimes music is too much. Sometimes podcasts, it's too much. My brain can't handle it. It's why I need some nice, relaxing silence.
What do you
or
think
comedy entertainment like the TryPod.
Speaking of comedy entertainment, you guys have been tuning into the iTunes store to give us 5-star reviews on our comedy entertainment.
You tune into that store hard, bro.
Tuning into the iTunes store. And we have a couple secrets that you guys left in your reviews.
Miles,
to
is it true?
read.
We're almost at 10,000 secrets.
That's true. We're almost at 10,000.
That's crazy.
Keep them coming in, baby.
Which means that if you've left a secret, you might just leave it again. Just get it at the top, just come, because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going back to secret number 9,000.
Yeah,
Bump
we started
that
top.
inbox, baby.
It's too far down there. So if you want those juicy secrets percolating, just copy and paste, my dudes. Let's make it happen.
Or if you
true.
see Zach Kornfeld on the street, just walk straight up to him
And scream secrets
and
in
scream
my face.
secrets in his face.
I feel like just hearing a secret, it just gives you the best feeling. It makes you feel all warm.
Whoa,
Miles, where do you feel
That's
warm?
a weird energy. You're
Feel warm
emanating.
in my legs.
Imagine that though as our new fan interactions, where instead of if you ever recognize me in person, don't say hey, watch your videos. Hey, are you Zach from the Try Guys? Just come up to me and just say, hey, one time in 3rd grade, I accidentally killed a tadpole, and then walk away.
Jesus.
I would fucking love that.
Very easy to do. Tadpoles are small. Eugene, can I get a fake name for this person's secret that they wrote into the iTunes store?
Jake Jiggly Balls.
That's like Jake Paul and Jigglypuff. Married together at last.
Yeah.
The balls comes from Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
How dare you?
Guys.
Sorry.
Let me talk about the superior Jake.
Miles is always thinking about JP.
Always got him on the mind. Okay. I don't like him. He's bad. Secret.
We do have his photo on our wall, though. We don't,
Well, it's for a video, and
Isn't that for your video, Zach?
yeah.
just as a there's red string surrounding him in this picture, amongst other things.
Classic conspiracy.
And it
board.
says, why?
How?
Why, Jake Paul?
Alias? Okay, go.
Okay, so this is called
Why
Secret.
did you not invite us to your wedding?
I know. Secret. I get a secret. My friend had a mysterious cousin only known in stories who had a thriving business in the devil's grass.
Wait, what?
I think it's supposed to be marijuana.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
On my
nice.
friend's 18th birthday, while we were playing Grand Theft Auto, we hear a knock on the door, and it's the cousin.
You think they were playing Vice City, or was this
It's probably
San Andreas?
It's probably 5. GTA 5.
Cool?
Definitely paints a picture regardless.
Yeah.
You know GTA, right, Eugene?
No, I don't.
No, you know it though. Grand Theft Auto.
I don't play video games.
Is it-
Like I don't listen to podcasts. I don't play video
I know
games.
you don't
Did you
play
never
it.
play
Look,
Grand Theft Auto?
Apparently, I just sit silently with my own thoughts.
I've never played Grand Theft Auto either.
What?
Except for, well, I mean, I played it a couple times, but I've never like owned it. You know,
Oh,
I've
wait.
never like gotten in there.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's
that's
crazy.
when you steal cars in a
Yes,
video game.
It's
Oh,
a
I've done that in
little-
real life though.
It's a bit much.
Why do
I'd
I
rather
need a video game?
You're real life Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I used to. No, we're not gonna talk about
Oh,
it.
what? Well, we definitely are. He hands my friend a briefcase and simply says, "Happy birthday, have fun,"
Oh,
and
yeah.
slithers away. He's a little snake.
I'm picturing Steve Buscemi in Monsters Inc.
Yeah, exactly. We open it to find it full of the dank stuff. In a panic, the best decision we would come up to dispose of this briefcase was to bury it.
Oh, I thought they were gonna say smoke all of it.
Smoke
At
all
once.
the weed.
We have to smoke this all right now.
Behind his garage and hiding behind the small trolling boat they never used. We dug a hole and buried that thing as fast as we could, and we never spoke of it again. My friend moved, so to this day, I don't know if the new residents have a briefcase full of the green goddess in their backyard or not. Love the pod.
Ooh, I love this. I love this person's writing style. Jake
Yeah.
Jigglyballs has like almost a Twain-esque like folksiness to the way he speaks of the green goddess.
There are 3 wonderful and very original Mary Jane nicknames in that.
Yeah, I'm stealing Devil's Grass.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Devil's grass.
A trawling boat? Is this? This is coastal.
This is coastal.
Yeah, this must be
well,
coastal.
it might
Or
be
near a swamp.
south.
Near a swamp.
Yeah, like this makes me think like New Orleans or the Gulf. but-
Yeah.
What is that boat called? I
A
don't know
trolling
it.
boat, I believe, is used. It's just like a small little dinghy, but it has a motor.
Sick.
Really?
Trolling boat. I'm gonna
Or
look
it's
it up.
more like a fishing boat that goes slowly and drags nets.
Well, that's a literary secret, I would say.
Oh, it's a method of fishing where they have like they draw a net through the water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
But-
That's exactly what
I
I
don't know.
said.
I don't know if there's advice to be given. I think this is a great opener to an adventure novel. You know,
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
going back to find the treasure.
I'd
Yeah.
say that there's advice to be given when a mysterious man gives you a briefcase. You don't turn it down.
No.
You gotta party. Actually, I don't know how old these people are. I might be.
I'm assuming they were children when this
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
right?
Can dogs smell pot
If
in
they're-
the ground?
if they're trained.
They're trained. Yeah.
How deep though?
That's a great question. We should do that. We should set it up.
Yeah.
Figure
1
it
foot,
out.
can you smell it? 6 feet, can you smell it?
You know, that's a fascinating
Wow.
video.
Does weed appreciate in value when it's buried for long periods of time, like
No.
Spanish bullion?
Have you ever wondered?
Spanish bullion.
Yeah, gold bullion
Oh.
from Spain.
Bullion's a type of stew, right?
Damn it.
Dog training is really fascinating. I
Yeah.
was at an airport check-in recently, and people weren't even going through metal detector; they were going through a dog.
Yeah, we were there. What
The dog
airport were we
we
at?
They
were
would
there.
pass, and the dog would pass through each
The
person
lines
as
were
they
so
walked.
long.
And it was so the dog was more effective to sniff out something like I don't know, an explosive or some sort of residue than a technology.
Wow.
So
But it was very slow.
it was very interesting.
It was the longest fucking
like they
airport
would walk
line.
in a
Yeah.
single file line, and the dog would just almost like a agility course weave
Just back
through
forth.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so weird. It was
Yeah.
like they said,
Whoa.
okay, stop here. And there was 2 people that you stood next to each other. And then they said, okay, walk slowly. this way. And then the dog went, "Tut, tut, 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 tut." The lines were so long, it got me to sign up for Clear, which is big boy TSA
I know.
pre-check.
Well,
A completely unnecessary product, and I feel a little uncomfortable about the amount of biometric data I gave them.
What did you give them?
Everything.
Like, was it like retinal scan?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Oh, that's dope.
All of my fingerprints, retinal scans. It was too much. It's going to go in some database somewhere, and I can never commit a crime.
Just to
Not
avoid-
that I'd want to.
Just to avoid the cute bomb sniffing doggy.
Yeah, I walked right past Zach, and I was like,
Later,
"See ya!"
And I had my eyes closed the entire time. I'm saying no one's getting these puppies.
I did actually have to do the dog, but I got to go right up to the front of the dog line.
Oh.
Ned wanted the dog. He's like, how do I get to that dog sooner?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
dogs are
wouldn't let me
amazing.
not do the dog, despite taking my eyes.
I will say that's an amazing adventure, and I want you to go back. You know, that briefcase is the pounding heart underneath your floorboards. I feel like you gotta... there's something unfulfilled in your past. That's why you're writing us this secret. So from the Try Guys, our official advice is break into your old house, dig up the lawn until you find that briefcase, and go on a river raft and start your adventure today.
Yeah.
It's never too late to start your adventure.
that's true. They tried to bury Jumanji, but Jumanji 2 came out.
Comes back.
Yeah, came out.
I finally watched Jumanji. On
Two?
the rock one. I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so great.
all the way on board with that movie.
Yeah.
What, are you wincing?
It was okay. It was better than we thought it would be.
That's what it was. I was just like, wow, this
you
is
expected
great.
it to be pretty bad.
Did I talk about this last week? I feel like I did.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, because did I say that Nick Jonas was fucking charming as hell?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, because he was.
I have a thing. It's hard for me to separate films I deeply associate with Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Because although I think that when people say Will Smith did a commendable, if not great job as the genie, it's just, you know, it's hard to see this era of remakes that are essentially trying to rehash things and find desperate ways to cash grab on nostalgia. It just makes me really upset.
Yeah, it's
I don't
hard.
like the core concept of it. Don't even get me started on the Lion King remake.
Yeah, well, I'd love to, actually.
no.
Well, wait, I accidentally walked into it last night. I went, we'll do my movie review later, but I was, having a fun time at the movies. I was going to see a dumb action movie, so I was a little altered. And I got off the phone and wandered into the wrong theater in the middle of a scene of them talking. And I was like, is this like just an extended trailer for The Lion King? And it took me 2 minutes to realize that I was I couldn't find my seats.
Wait, were you on the Devil's Grass?
I was on the Green Goddess.
Because it sounds like you were.
I was. And it was very confusing to watch a line with Beyonce's voice.
Huh.
Yeah, I
didn't
wouldn't
care
say
for
that
it.
was. I wouldn't say that was the root of all the evils, but that was part of. I don't know. I think that when you come from an era that was, essentially glorifying artistry with this renaissance of animation at Disney, and then to see essentially them, sort of strip all of that away just to replicate it through something like computers or live actors with big names, it just makes me sad. It just makes me feel like it's a big. I mean, Disney has made more money this year than they ever had in the history of any production company.
They've tripled the next closest studio. It's nuts.
I kind of find I find it a little
Maybe double.
too monolithic. I find it a little oppressive. I find it strange, and I feel like it's strangling. It looks more like numbers to me than art, and it kind of depresses me.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's interesting. I feel like it is still animated, right? Like it's not.
It's
different.
The only shot that's filmed is the first shot of the film.
I have a question.
Of the sunrise.
A question for you,
weird.
because you saw the whole movie and didn't really care for it. Do their faces ever emote? Like they look
It's
like
hard
lions.
to because they're
but-
so photorealistic.
Yeah.
It's hard to showcase emotion through
Yeah.
what looks like a real wild animal. The closest you could get is someone with a great character voice, which is why the comedians who played side characters like Timon and Pumbaa were more successful, because they were able to riff. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen did a fantastic job. But then when you have, Donald Glover and Beyonce, who are amazing performers and actors, but you siphon essentially their actual voice through a motionless lion, you then crave a character voice actor, because you're not getting anything but Beyonce saying, "Lionesses, assemble." And it doesn't give me anything but Beyonce saying a line through a lion's face. And it's,
Right.
yeah, it saddens me.
Do you think
How
they
was the
could?
CGI?
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's like watching a nature documentary. So clearly a technological triumph. But in regards to I don't know, artistry in the industry, I think we're in a dying age of some of that.
There's a really
You don't see artistry in the CGI?
I see artistry from the CGI's work. I see artistry in how they have, essentially perfected so many different things that we've been working on for years for computer technology. But I think in terms of where this concept came from and how it was born, we're in an era where, and we'll get into Hobbs and Shaw soon, we're essentially seeing tentpoles by studios driven by remakes, rehashes, and sequels. And we go to it in droves. I think maybe MCU is one of the only things that's at least like playing off of something creatively that feels a little fresh because it's like this shared universe we haven't seen yet done cinematically. But otherwise, it just makes me feel like you have to go see like an indie film to get something like you in any way that feels original these days. And, I don't think that was always the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still gonna see
Sorry.
Mulan though?
I mean, I will see Mulan. I am happy that actually it's a war epic, but
and that they're doing something a little different.
they're doing something a little different. It's not going to be an
Yeah.
exact copy and paste.
There's a really good article from our buddy Adam Berry, who's a film writer, also great on Twitter, but he wrote about Disney's current domination of the box office between the MCU and their remakes and Star Wars, just fucking everything. For the next 2 years, every studio, Disney has planted their flags and everyone is staying the fuck out of their way. But what is setting them up for domination for the next couple of years is also something that's going to be setting them up for a really potentially hard faceplant in a couple of years. Because once they run through this IP, once they're out of 90s movies to remake, once Star Wars fatigue starts to set in, once MCU, I don't think it'll ever die at this point because we keep saying it's going to. But what is the end of that road? And they've exhausted their back catalog so thoroughly and completely that like, where do you go from there?
This morning they just announced they're remaking Home Alone.
I saw that actually.
Yeah, I'm in. Why? Yeah, why not?
No.
Why? What are you talking about? Why
No.
not? Why not?
Why?
Because it's a great
make a new film
Yeah, you're right.
that younger generations
Totally.
can love that's totally original. Like, hire people who can give you that sort of creative. Like, there's no competition now. Competition breeds creativity. It's now all owned by the same company. It freaks me out a little bit.
I will
It's
say,
tough.
what if the Home Alone isn't a little boy, it's a little girl? Now we
Did they
have
do that?
a little different thing. No. Did they not do that? Just kidding. All right, let's move on.
Eugene, do you like to listen?
I mean, I hope I do because this is a podcast.
Ah, very funny. Of course you do. Listening makes us smarter, more connected people. It makes us better partners, parents, and leaders. And there's no better place to start listening than Audible.
Audible is where so many inspiring voices and compelling stories open listeners up to new experiences and ways of thinking.
Audible members now get more than ever before. You can choose 3 titles every month, 1 audiobook plus 2 Audible originals that you can't hear anywhere else.
Members also have unlimited access to more than 100 audio-guided fitness and meditation programs. That's right. Work out your brain and your butt. We really recommend Audible because you can find our book, The Hidden Power of Effing Up by the Try Guys, on Audible,
That's
y'all.
right. Yeah, get yourself motivated, get yourself amped up. You can be laughing while you're at the gym, walking on that treadmill. Yes, I said walking because that's how I like to do treadmills. Audible delivers bestsellers, business, self-improvement, memoirs, and more, all professionally narrated by actors, authors, and motivational superstars like Rachel Hollis, David Goggins, and Mel Robbins.
Audible members can also get free access to the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Washington Post delivered daily to the Audible app.
Yeah, this app is so convenient. Members can access Audible anytime at the gym, while you're commuting, or on the go and on any device. It will always pick up right where you left off.
And Audible also offers free and easy audiobook exchanges, credits you can roll over for a year, and a library you can keep forever, even if you cancel.
Exploring all the ways listening on Audible can help improve mind, body, and soul with entertainment, information, and inspiration.
Yep, start listening with a 30-day Audible trial, and your first audiobook plus 2 Audible originals are free. Visit audible.com/tryguys or text tryguys to 500 500.
Ooh, I want to text Try Guys to 500 500.
Yeah, that's 500 500.
Let's do it and see what happens.
Before we get into catching up with the Eugene Lee Yangs, our next segment, Eugene's been gone for a while on a couple podcasts. People have been missing you, Eugene.
Oh, thanks, people.
We have to issue a correction.
We have a correction.
Oh, we have a correction.
Oh my goodness.
Our first correction.
Wow. What did you guys say wrong when I was away?
The Try Guys do not officially endorse breaking into someone's house and stealing weed.
In fact, we've had a lot of things where we say stuff, and we filmed this in a room next to an office full of our editors, and they, after the podcast, have been like, hey, you guys got that wrong. I'm like, why didn't you shout it out? Can you guys hear me in that other room? They have headphones in. We were talking about the Mighty Ducks the other day. Is this our correction?
No.
Okay, do you remember we were talking about the Mighty Ducks?
Yes.
Yeah, that was their real name. They were called the Mighty Ducks. You guys told me that they weren't called the Mighty Ducks. Disney owned them. They were created by Disney.
Anaheim owned the team.
No, Disney owned the team. Disney created the Mighty Ducks. And you guys were making fun of me saying they're not called the Mighty Ducks. They were called the Mighty Ducks. Correction, Zach was right.
Well,
Great
who was
job,
wrong
Zach.
in this correction?
I believe.
probably
You know what? That's a movie they should remake, though. You know what I'm saying? What's the 2020 version of a knuckle puck?
So here's the correction. It falls on me first and foremost, but also it was purported by the group. We got an email from the executive director of the North American Olive Oil Association.
Wow. I didn't even know that was a job.
This is exciting.
And we know it's real because it's, well, we hope, but it's at naooa.org. Is this guy, Joseph Profaci.
Why don't you give his full email address? No, I'm just kidding.
I think he just did.
And he said he had a lot of problems with what we said. But he said,
When were we talking about?
We were
olive oil?
I believe this was me.
Yep.
I had heard about, okay, so you get some right, like the Mighty Ducks. Maybe you get some wrong. There was a report that I heard that a lot of olive oil in this country is rancid, I believe, but that we don't know. But I was saying that I really have been loving cooking with avocado oil. I love the flavor, and it has, I believe, a higher smoke point. Was that what it was?
Specifically, you said, because he quotes you in this very long email.
Okay, let's get a verbatim.
At 1950, Zach Kornfeld says, a lot of olive oil in this country, olive oil goes rancid. I listened to this on a podcast. Olive oil is rancid, and we don't have a refined enough palate to know, but avocado oil, it's delicious, and you don't. And then he says, expletive, smoke it out. So this guy says that...
Was I here for this pod? Because I
think
feel
this
like
was
I
an
would
earlier
have
podcast. I think we were both here.
defended.
This is episode 13.
Hey, I love olive oil. A good olive oil is delicious. I'm talking about those cheap olive oils.
I don't know. I remember you being
about rancid olive oil.
I've listened
Never
to
had
it.
a rancid olive oil.
I listened to it on a podcast because I don't listen to nothing in my car.
I guess this really teaches you don't ever take anything from a podcast verbatim.
That's true. And this guy clearly knows olive oil. He's the executive director of the North American Olive Oil
Get to
Association.
the goods. I want to.
Imagining him like you saying olive oil is all rancid.
I didn't say it was all rancid.
I'm pretty sure it was quoted.
I said
What was
that.
the quote?
Can we edit in a clip of what Zach said from that podcast
right here.
now?
The avocado oil is the greatest. I know it makes you sound like the bougiest, most LA piece of shit in the world, but it has a higher boiling point. So most people don't know, one, a lot of olive oil in this country, smoke point, thank you.
Super important.
Olive oil goes rancid, and we don't have a I listened to this on a podcast.
Yeah.
Olive oil is rancid, and we don't have a refined enough palate to know. But avocado oil, it's delicious, and you don't fucking smoke it out. You guys have to know that I talk a lot and often don't think about what I'm saying.
Can you imagine what that man felt?
Yeah.
He's
wanna
devoted
hear-
his career
Let's not
to
dwell on the
promoting
past. Let's
olive
correct
oil,
the present.
and you just come in hot saying that.
He says the claim that a lot of olive oil in this country is rancid is unfounded and misleading. The NAOOA is dedicated to making sure that U.S. consumers get what they pay for when they buy olive oil by regularly testing olive oil right off store shelves for quality and authenticity.
I attacked this man's passion. I didn't know that there was a man behind the olive oil. I wouldn't have come for his livelihood like this.
People
Okay, so what's the real
stuff.
fact?
So this is, it's good we have questions like this because this could have turned into a scandal. This could have turned into a cancel TryPod, and we don't want that to happen. So he said, then we also said, I actually said that you shouldn't be sauteing with olive oil because it's carcinogenic. When it gets,
I would have
and
never
it's-
said
and
that.
it's
Miles,
smoke
that's
porn.
fucked up.
I know, it's fucked
That's
up.
fucked up,
It's
Miles.
really fucked up that I said it. And he said the idea that sauteing with olive oil is carcinogenic is preposterous. In southern European Mediterranean countries, which have longer lifespans than the U.S., a little diss at the U.S. right there.
No, I'm here for it.
Olive oil is the primary oil used for virtually all cooking. In fact, and then he says a lot of other stuff, but that's also wrong. This email's really long.
It's really long.
But I appreciate
if you forward this to me, I'll read the whole thing. Joseph, Mr. Profaci, I want to apologize to you. I didn't mean to come after you and your family like that.
Apologize to me as if I am Mr.
Profaci.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Mr. Profaci.
No,
Zach.
Mr. Profaci, I meant only to speak up avocado oil, and I should not have dragged down you and your hard work along with it. I spoke. I repeated something that I had heard without taking the time to fact check it, and I appreciate your correction. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your hard work and for how delicious you make bread all across the country.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Zach.
That's beautiful.
I appreciate that. You know, I've
Ned, this
Go to
is
my-
not for you. This is for Mr. Profaci. I know you're 1/8 Italian,
I'm
but
role playing. I'm role playing as Mr. Profaci.
I will say, if you watch the Try Guys, Zach doesn't even like olives, so he shouldn't be the person you should listen to in the first
Wow,
place.
we're gonna do
Wow.
that. That's a weird thing, though. I love the juice that squeezes out of them. I do love olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't even like olives, so
I don't like olives. You want to do this right now? You want to do this
You
right
don't-
now?
I'm just saying.
You want an olive chat?
I'll do this right
You want an
now.
olive
I'm
chat?
just saying-
Olive throwdown.
Black olives are garbage. You want to talk about the devil's pit, devil's grass? That's it.
We're gonna get a correction from the Black Olive.
I don't care for olives. I'm at a point in my life though where I don't hate anyone for liking foods. I think if you like something that I don't like, I'm down for it for you, but I don't want it in my mouth.
You like that we like olives?
I don't care that you like olives.
You know, I think olives are a food, though, that a lot of people dislike, especially when they're young.
Mhm.
And then they find out that there's a wide diversity of olives.
Yeah, there's some I've
Yeah.
accepted into
So there's
my
a
life.
few that I think you'll like learn to enjoy.
I think black olives are pretty, like, nobody's.
They're bad.
They're okay. They're good. I like them, but they're not my favorite olive.
They're the iceberg lettuce of olives.
Yeah.
It's still lettuce, pretty good in some salads, especially if you got a whole bunch of cheese. But, you know, we get it. It's not the most flavorful, but it's still good. It's salty. It's delicious. It's a little snack. And the great thing about olives is there's such a wide diversity of olives. There's so many different types, so many different flavors, so many different preparations. You can stuff them. You can like put them in olive oil. You can kind of cook them. You can slice them. You can dice them.
Mm-hmm.
You can snack them. They're great. They're great for parties. They're great in dishes. They spice up everything with salt.
I wonder what other very renowned people are listening to this podcast.
If you're a renowned person,
in any way,
write us, and
Yeah.
we'd love to talk about your work.
especially if anyone has said anything wrong. I would love if anyone else said anything wrong, but if I said anything wrong too, I'm also chill to hear about that.
Speaking of renowned people, Eugene Lee Yang is a member of our podcast who has been gone for the last 2 episodes and not in a couple videos as of late, and people have been missing him. So we're going to take this opportunity to catch up with Eugene Lee Yang on Keeping Up with the
Eugene Lee Yang.
I was gone out of videos because many times we try to schedule videos and podcasts to at least shuffle around us when, you know, we all have individual schedules. My coming out video was about 3 weeks. I had to remove myself while the other guys were also working on individual projects like Ned's DIY, Zach's Candid Competition, all these different things that are coming out.
The DIY show was filmed mostly in May.
Yeah. So a lot of these things, it's just the way that the cookie crumbles. And because of the tour, we weren't able to fill a lot of that with group videos. So it's just how really just about 4-ish weeks of our slate happened to be individuals. And because of how heavily intense my production was for the coming out video I wasn't able to be part of or pop into their videos. Like being in Eat the Menu to pop into Keith's, they could still be in the office while working on other things. I was gone choreographing or doing something with the crew of that video. So that's just the simple explanation.
I'm very impressed with us that we continued releasing 2 videos a week all while we were on tour. I mean, that's a real testament to the team that we have here at the office.
I do know that we will be a little more vigilant on understanding if one or more of us will be absent from channel work because it's a very real possibility that we might be on other projects or doing big things. And I think in the future we'll be cognizant of that and let you know.
Well,
Try and let you know.
I think our messaging could have been better once we saw that was what was happening. And we did try and make our plan, but then some things happened. I had to drop out of some videos. Your schedule was a little more intense than we thought. So like we tried to make it a little more even, and it just didn't happen.
And
Next
to be
time.
fair, I counted. It's been 8 videos.
Yeah.
So it's not that crazy, but it's good to get a barometer of what the audience is noticing. So yeah, we'll just make sure that you are aware in the future if we see in the slate that someone will be missing for a while.
Because you've been away, we have some juicy little questions to ask. What you've been up to when you've been gone. I Googled good questions to ask, and I found 20 of the world's hottest little questions that I'm going to have you answer rapid fire on the pod.
Miles, you have a face for a podcast.
That is mean. So mean.
These expressions you're giving are so wonderful. I hope people watch the video because if you're listening on the podcast, go watch what Miles' face was doing while he was talking. It was just art.
It's too big. My big expressions are sometimes too big.
No, it's wonderful. I mean, you're with Keith half the time. Like,
Right.
Keith is the biggest face.
Question number 1 on keeping up with Eugene Lee Yang.
Kardashian.
Didn't you call it the Lee Yangs initially?
Yeah.
I was confused there.
Keeping up with
You were
the
looking
Lee
for
Yangs.
support.
Yeah, we're changing things up. What weird food combinations? And these are rapid fire.
Oh shit. Okay.
So as
boy.
fast as you can.
Okay.
I say take your time.
No, I can do this.
Conflicting notes from the
I
network.
tend to be
I love
thoughtful,
it.
but
Eugene, we've really missed you on the podcast. We want to talk more. Now, if you could answer these as quickly as possible
Yeah.
so we can really rush through this segment.
Exactly. As quick as possible, but do take your time.
okay.
Okay. What weird food combinations do you really enjoy?
Oh, I guess. Oh man. Oh, I have to say this fast. As a Korean person, some people think it's weird that I put raw eggs on things. Yeah, I'll like put raw egg in rice and stir it with soy sauce and eat that.
Not
Ooh,
as
wait,
much-
oh, nice.
You ever have raw egg and whiskey like a cowboy?
Just in videos. But I used to eat raw eggs as a kid all the time.
Isn't that dangerous?
I think so, but maybe I think that's why I'm such a hardy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that dangerous.
I
You know,
used to
it's
eat co-
2019. Salmonella is a thing of the past. Don't quote me on that. I know it's not true. This is a comedy podcast.
man.
We have the Institute of Salmonella writing in.
Salmonella, definitely still a danger.
But you know, a lot of East
You're
Asians,
risking
there's
an infection.
Japanese and Koreans use raw eggs a lot in rice.
I eat raw cookie dough, so we're basically just as equally badass. Number 2, what social stigma does society need to get over?
Social stigma?
Yeah.
Picking your nose.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. like clearly, I mean, don't pick your nose and eat it. That's bad. I know you like that, Zach.
No.
I know you've defended that jokingly in the past, but picking your nose, I think if you're caught picking your nose, don't shame the person, especially if
Totally.
it's a kid.
Yeah.
There's boogers up there.
I need to give context. I don't.
I know. Okay, Zach,
Actually, no context.
give
No
context.
context needed.
Zach made a video once of adults re-eating their boogers as older people, and he defends this video to
I thought it was
his
a funny
dying
idea.
day.
My whole thing is
We
that
think it's so gross.
People, when I tell people the idea of eating their burgers, they're like, "Oh, ew," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's a little gross, but like you could fucking do it. You will not die. It's not that gross. It barely tastes like anything. In fact,
True.
if you're alone right now, go ahead,
No,
give it a
Zach,
try.
no. While I
You will
say-
survive.
While I say it's okay to pick your boogers,
I don't do it.
I never ate my boogers as a kid.
Yeah, me neither.
Then why'd you make that video?
I thought it was funny. Okay, the idea was adults do something for the first time again.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I was like, what is something that people used to do that they could revisit as
the
an
grand
adult?
assumption, since it's so closely tied to your identity, is that you also ate your boogers.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I used to have a runny nose, and sometimes, like, I know what boogers taste like.
It's kind of like drinking water from the back of the toilet, right?
What?
Like it's the same hole, but it's just the back part.
Oh, okay.
What?
Is that a
I don't
turn
think
of
they're
phrase?
the same.
Well, your nose.
Is that an idiom, or is that just something you
Is
do,
that a
Miles?
mileism? Is that a mileism?
When do you drink water out of the front of the toilet?
I think what he's saying is that the water at the back of the toilet is clean.
Yeah.
And so you could drink it even
Yeah.
though it's associated with poo-poo water.
You know, that's a great idiom for
but also,
dogs
what the fuck
if
does
they
that
could
have?
talk.
What the fuck does it have to do with?
It's just your mouth's part of your nose.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same hole.
Yeah.
It's saying you're already eating like
Yeah.
the mucus that's in the
Essentially.
back
When
of
you
your throat.
swallow, like when you go
I
swallow,
hate that sound.
You're swallowing boogers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought this up and I apologize for it.
Apology accepted. Number 3, what food have you never eaten but would really like to try?
Puffer fish in Japan.
Ooh,
the one that could kill you.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I just find I'm
Why
one of
did-
those weird people.
Why can those kill you? Is it the poison? Or?
You have to have a very particular sushi chef who knows to prepare it. Otherwise, there's a poison that if they
Right.
don't prepare it correctly will kill you
I
instantly.
think it has to be very thinly sliced.
So I like the idea of putting my life in the hands of someone who's it's all based on their capability and training.
And if you're an expert in that field, please email us.
The pufferfish association. They're not poisonous to people. You can eat pufferfish, I swear.
Oh no, don't quote Zach on that.
Eugene, we're always trying things for our videos.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it time we started trying things for ourselves?
You're damn right we should.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Skillshare. The
Mm.
TryPod is brought to you today by Skillshare.
Oh, it's so great. Learning is amazing. I love learning. Mhm.
Got all these different classes and courses that you can use to try new things, learn new things. I took one on entrepreneurship to help grow our new production company.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I
It's
took
called-
one on making grilled cheese.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
See, if you want to be a chef, now you can.
Now I
be.
have the skills. But yeah, they have amazing classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills, and you can take classes in everything from photography, creative writing, design, productivity, tons of stuff.
You imagine when you graduate high school or you graduate college, like learning stops, but it doesn't.
I'm definitely stupider than I was in high school, but Skillshare can make me smarter now as a 30-something.
So whether you're returning to a long-time passion project or, you know, like us, challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone, Skillshare's got classes for you.
Skillshare is super easy. It's all online. I can do it at my own leisure.
We're all creative people. We're always trying to maximize our skills, whether it's editing or photography, design, and they've got a lot of classes that have helped us do that.
Yeah, so you can join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for our listeners. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free.
That's right. Skillshare is offering the TryPod listeners 2 months of unlimited access to thousands of classes for free.
That can't be right. 2 months?
That's right.
That's so long.
for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/tryguys. Again, go to Skillshare.com/tryguys to start your 2 months now.
That's Skillshare.com/tryguys.
What's something you really resent paying for?
What's something I really resent paying for? Water, electricity, and gas.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, that's just the truest answer. I guess when I pay for it, I resent it.
Yeah, I
I
get
just
that.
think, oh, I wish we all could have this. I wish we could all have access to this. So I guess that's the most resentful I've ever felt, just generally paying for something.
Yeah.
It seemed like you were about to get really emotional from that question.
Well, no, because then I immediately thought like, oh, but think of the people who don't have access to that.
Yeah.
And then I got sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I think everyone should have like free, clean water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would a world populated by clones of you be like?
Oh my God, everyone having sex with each other. I would have sex with my clone.
You would have sex with your
Oh,
clone?
for sure.
Yeah.
Just because I would then learn what I'm not great at and then improve.
Hey.
Oh, so it's purely
Yes.
It's self-improvement.
Different perspective.
wow.
Oh, you thought I would do it just because I'm fascinated to make out with myself?
Well, I think there's a thing that some people are like, oh yeah, I'm so hot.
No, I don't think out of hotness. I think I just want to know what I could do better. I'm attracted to improving myself, which you know very well. Yeah.
Do you think that aliens exist?
Yes, 100%.
Follow-up question, when will we find them? And where will they come from?
Or are they already here?
They're already here. We'll find them once we actually open our minds collectively as a society.
Boy, all right, next.
There's a starman waiting in the sky.
Metaphysics, baby.
Yay.
Where do you think they would be on the planet? Like, do you subscribe to like they're living underwater, or are they like just somewhere in the outback, kicking it with kangaroos?
Probably Japan.
No, Japan's too small.
No, but Japan's the most fun. They just
Where
go
would
to
they be
most-
hiding?
Just I don't know, Harajuku. They'd be like, that's the most fun place in the world.
I feel like they're in the water. They're
Or Disneyland.
Yeah.
like very high up north in Canada, or like somewhere in
Non-humanoids.
Russia.
No, in all seriousness, I don't think they're like on the planet physically. I think they visit occasionally,
Oh, like
which is I
yeah.
think maybe where our
Spring break.
I think that we would see them, but I do think aliens exist just because of the pure billions and billions of stars out there. There have to be, just as a numbers game, statistics problem, there has to be a habitable planet that also develops some sort of life.
I'm not
somewhere out in the universe.
I'm not a big like History Channel aliens buff. I really don't think they're necessarily here currently. I think they could have been here at some point. I think they will be here at some point. I just think they exist somewhere in the known to unknown universe.
Did you guys see there was a crash on the moon, and now there are water bears, the little I don't know how you pronounce them, like the tiny little
the cute little
microscopic
thing. Yeah,
how you pronounce that? Tardigrades.
Yeah.
But I read that this morning as I woke up, and I'm like, what if today is the day that we inseminated life on the moon, and like
because it can evolve
millions of years in the future because of just this thing that I read on Twitter.
Wow.
Then you have moon water bears.
Moon water bears.
Wait, there's life on the moon now?
Well, they got stuck on. I guess technically, there's life on the moon because of us. Water bears. You don't know about water bears?
No.
Ned, you're a scientist.
No, I don't know about water bears.
I don't know much about them. I just know that there are these microscopic things. They're so cute, and they are the most resilient creatures in the known universe. I think that they are basically immortal. They can survive in space, just floating. They're crazy. You should look them up. They're really cute and weird looking, but also are very fascinating. I don't know much about them.
And now they're on the moon.
Are they the ones that look like little squishy
and they have
sacks with giant sucker heads?
Yep.
I have heard about
But they're
these.
like little feet float in the air. I'm trying to be more conscious of not talking about things that I actually don't know about. So
I'm more of a chemist than a microbiologist.
Bummer.
Eugene, what are some unusual places you've been?
Machu Picchu, which was beautiful. Unusual places.
Yeah. Like a weird place.
I used to crawl around the sewers in my hometown when I was bored.
What? What's that?
Were you part of the Losers Club?
Well, if the Losers Club was one person, then yeah.
Was there a clown that you were fighting?
Well, I did dress up in my ninja costume I wore a few Halloweens in a row, and I would bring around my plastic sword, and I imagined that I was defeating villains who lived in the sewers. So I'd run around by myself through the sewers of my town. Oh. Yeah.
Wait, this is both.
How did you get into the sewers?
I have so
There's
many
like
questions.
open grates.
Crazy.
There were big open grates that you can get into, and you're just
So you climb down.
Mm-hmm.
This is both like sad, but also so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's mostly sad thinking about
Pretty
it.
fucking cool.
Is it wet, or are there like? Is there pavement?
It's wet. It's it's pavement, but it's moldy.
Huh.
Yeah.
But you're not like wading through water.
Was it
No,
dark?
just like ankle.
Was it
height.
dark?
It's dark.
Did your shoes get ruined?
Yeah, but I would do it barefoot.
Whoa, did it smell?
Yeah.
Does it smell
because
like
it's a
poop?
Sewer. Not as no. It smelled more like a creek.
Okay, I can picture this, and I had kind of above ground equivalents where like this, it would run off.
Yeah.
And we would hang out in.
I was definitely a child who would have gotten killed by a murderous clown for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wait, when you said that it was just you playing, is that because the rest of your friends got murdered by a clown, or?
No, I just didn't have friends at the time.
Tell me about this.
It's getting sadder and sadder, guys.
I know.
Let's go back to Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu was the most unusual.
What was the name of the villain you were fighting in your ninja costume?
I mean, I've been to Machu Picchu, but I've never been inside a sewer.
Really?
Yeah.
You ever, like, just climbed into a sewer?
When would I be?
I don't know. As a kid, it's just a thing you do.
No, they were
I've done
covered with grates.
I've done
There's
it.
no way I could get inside.
I wanted to. I couldn't fit in the ones in my town, so I'm jealous.
Yeah, but the sewer areas that are open are like 6-8 inches. It's like, I'm not gonna get inside.
Yeah, so what was it like the ones on the street that you climbed down into, or was there like a big entrance somewhere?
There was a big entrance somewhere.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
so
Oh,
like
I totally
like
would've
where the water
messed
was
with
like
that for
dumping out.
sure.
Gotcha. Okay, so you went. Okay, all right.
But I could also go in through. I could also fit through the part of some of the runoff on the sidewalk.
Wow.
There was a big one under my college that people just called them the tunnels.
Yeah, and I
you
bet
could-
people smoked weed there. The
Yeah.
green goddess and the devil's grass all the time.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Eugene. What movie can you watch over and over without getting tired of? You answered this the other day.
Well, Jurassic Park is one.
Yeah.
I could watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon like on repeat. I can watch. I can watch Requiem for a Dream on repeat. Is that weird?
That's a sad movie.
Yeah, I love Requiem for a Dream. It was very formative for me when I was in high school. Yeah. I smile when I watch it. Is that weird? I remember watching it a few times with friends, and they looked at me and I was grinning, and that's when they thought, "Wow, this guy's pretty fucked up."
So we were railing against sequels earlier, right? Jurassic Park has recently been rebooted with Chris Pratt. How do you feel about it?
I hate it. I don't like it.
Describe your hatred.
Did we talk about this on the podcast?
We might have, but
Are
Zach,
we nearing that point in the podcast where we don't know what we talk about anymore?
well, regardless, I think that the Jurassic World is a pale echo of what Jurassic Park was, and also the Jurassic Park original sequels. Jurassic Park 2 is okay up until it gets to San Diego, but otherwise, all of the rest is pretty trash. Except anything with Laura Dern. Laura Dern's amazing.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. Jurassic Park is a tension horror movie, and that's what makes it so great, because it's a kids movie, tension horror movie, whereas Jurassic World is a slasher movie, and I think it's inherently less interesting.
Zach, do you want to pick one more last question?
Whoa, yeah, one last question. There's some good ones in here. We'll end with a cute one. What animal would be the cutest if it could be scaled down to the size of a cat?
Oh my
And maybe
God,
I'll ask which
so
one,
many.
what you would most want to own as a pet.
Okay, I think clearly one obvious answer is a giraffe because they are known to be very tall.
Oh,
that would be cute.
Right,
yeah.
having a tiny giraffe is just like your perception of giraffes. I mean, because if you got a tiny,
you could put it in your pocket.
yeah, because
and
if you
its
got like a
little head
tiny
would be
polar
sticking
bear,
out. It would be like bloop.
if you had a tiny polar bear, you're used to seeing like things of that
Yeah.
dimension in a smaller scale, like a chubby cat or something. But a giraffe would just be so bizarre.
So unique.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think a giraffe probably, and
about-
of course an elephant. Elephants are awesome.
very cute.
Elephant and giraffe would be my top two.
Baby elephant.
Yeah. No, but like here.
Did I ever tell you guys that I got to like full on play with a baby tiger once?
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, I was before in my
He
life before I
imprint
knew.
on you.
I don't know if he did. It was my life before I knew you guys. I worked in commercial production, and we worked with an animal trainer. He was a Hollywood animal trainer, and so he had a baby tiger, and he was just trying to get him used to humans. Like this was a tiger that was going to be raised to be working with humans its whole life, and so he was trying to get it used to people. And so I'm in this big office. It's a freelance pit, so it's a pit of desks where maybe like 20 plus people are working. And they didn't announce like, hey, baby tiger's coming to play. He just let it loose. And so the baby tiger's like this puppy walking around, sniffing people's feet. And all of a sudden people are like, whoa, what the fuck? But this tiger was so cuddly, and I was on the floor petting it. And I mean, it was the size of my dog Bowie now. It was a tiny little thing. And it started gnawing on my sneakers. Like it was teething on my sneakers while I was petting it. And it was this feeling of like, ooh, this kind of hurts a little bit because you're just playing, and if you wanted to rip my foot off right now, you totally could.
Whoa.
But it was so adorable. I have photos somewhere on my phone I can show you guys. If you go way the fuck back on my Instagram, you can find it.
Wow.
It was, I mean, that's like one of those bucket list dream come true things that just plopped into my lap. All of a sudden, I was hanging out with a baby tiger. It was dope.
Speaking of tigers in the box office,
Wow.
Zach, you saw Hobbs and Shaw and you wanted to talk about it.
Well, it's funny. I was talking about Hobbs and Shaw this morning, and Miles said, no more. Save it for the podcast.
Didn't you say that it was going to be a 60-second review?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can do this.
Zach, 60-second review.
That will last 842 seconds. I'm a huge Fast and Furious fan. It's one of my favorite franchises in the world. I love it for how improbable it is. It started off as these B racing movies that somewhere along the way became larger than life superhero movies. Unfortunately for me, and it does hurt to say this, Hobbs and Shaw missed the mark for me. I realized I think it was missing the raw sincerity of Vin Diesel. I really mean that. I think that without Vin Diesel, the movie just doesn't work the same way. And what I mean by that is Fast 5, which to me is the pinnacle of the franchise, is a B movie at its heart that has these flourishes of an A movie. We're like, holy shit, this dumb movie all of a sudden is fucking awesome. Where Hobbs and Shaw is an A action movie, but because of that, it's just like a B or a C plus action movie. And weirdly, the more charismatic the stars are, because Jason Statham and The Rock are as good as it gets, they are so fun to watch. But the better they are, the more it's clear that the movie is just kind of shittily written. Whereas when you have the raw charisma of Vin Diesel, it becomes a different beast entirely. And it like is now outperforming what it's supposed to be as opposed to underperforming, if that makes sense. So I was unfortunately disappointed. Still a good time, you know, if you want some good scenes. I'd say it's more of an airplane movie or a watch at home. You know me, I could watch DJ hurling insults and kicking ass all day, every day. But certainly in the lower echelon of the Fast and Furious universe. I'll have to revise my official rankings, but it's certainly below 5, 6, Tokyo Drift, and 1.
Now, you can watch Fast and Furious all day, every day, right?
I don't know if I tried that once. One time I hosted a Fast and Furious-thon where it was 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and we watched, it was before 8 came out, I want to say. So we watched all 7 in one day. Ned and Ariel, the sweethearts, came at 10 a.m. to start the first movie with me. They were the only ones there. And we watched the first movie. And then I believe you came back for like 7, maybe. You came at the end. But no one else came until halfway through Tokyo Drift. So I started going fucking crazy because it's so many revving engines and like muscular men and racing cars and bright colors. Your brain starts to melt hard. But it's the opposite of most marathons where like as your brain is rotting out, the movies get better. So like you're losing steam, but steam's being given right back to you. It hits NOS on you. You have another question? Or you just wanted to know that I like to watch them all the time?
Yeah, no, I was curious because we just talked about movies you'd watch over and over, and you tend to like big budget action flicks.
You know what's weird is that though I like the dumb ones. There's something like the charm of Fast 5 to me is that it's the dumbest movie ever. It is written by a child who has just been given like, hey, whatever you want to do. It really feels like when you were a kid playing with cars in your bedroom, and it's that as a movie, and it just is so larger than life. Something about now where it almost is too aware of what it is now for it to work anymore for me, which is sad. That being said, they are going to space. This movie clearly is setting the breadcrumbs that's leading that way, and it's gonna happen.
I'm very excited.
I mean, Idris Elba is a superhuman in this movie. He is a cyborg. He calls himself literally Black Superman. He is more machine than man. It's just a Marvel movie at this point. It's crazy. It's batshit insane.
Did you have the like fun factor of like this is bad, but I like it, or was it just a letdown?
No, because it was like good. Like the dialogue is pithy and funny, and so everything else that's not, it's hard to explain, but there's that so bad it's good quality to the great Fast and Furious movies, plus then the greatest action ever made. The fifth movie, I call it Dumb Ocean's 11 because they spend the entire movie planning a heist and then they don't do it. They just drive really fast. It's fucking awesome.
I have to see it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, but I love The Rock. Can't wait for Jumanji 2. I don't know if I've told you that I love Jumanji 1. Finally watched it. Nick Jonas, what a sweetheart. So charming. Big fan of his acting.
Is it worth getting a babysitter for?
This is Ned's question all the time.
Main deal for me.
That's big.
Because it's a big action movie, so you think maybe you should see it in theaters.
I would say, in my opinion, because you also asked me about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the new Tarantino movie.
Yes.
I don't personally feel that there's a movie out right now that is worth getting a babysitter for.
Too late. They're already booked, and we're going to go see a movie because we want to go see a movie.
Well, then that'll be great.
That's how I live my life. It's movie night, and doesn't matter what's out.
We're going to get an email from Quentin Tarantino and Dwayne The Rock Johnson issuing a correction that their movies are worth getting a babysitter for. And how dare you?
No, Ariel really wants to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so we're going to go see that tonight.
There's some good stuff, yo. Yeah, it's a good time.
Movies that I could watch over and over. So glad you asked. Any Star Wars movie, just about, even the bad ones, they're still in the Star Wars universe, baby.
So you could watch 1, 2, 3 over and over.
Probably, yeah.
You could fuck with Rogue One.
I'll just like if 4, 5, 6 is really my bread and butter, but like really, I'm just a sucker for anything Star Wars. Even like the bad video games, I still like playing.
It's a fun world.
It's a fun world. But I really don't like watching movies more than once.
You told me that, which is crazy to me.
That's crazy.
Well,
it's crazy.
I don't know. If I already know what happens, I am less interested.
Because we asked you the other day, Eugene, like, what movie have you seen over 5 times?
I would say maybe over 100 movies I've seen over 5 times.
That's what I was gonna say.
Wow.
I have.
That's crazy.
I forgot to mention.
I forgot to
mention that if it's a musical or animated, I've probably seen it over 10 times.
Wow.
Sound of Music, I've probably seen over 50 times in my life.
Well,
West Side Story. Any Pixar film I've probably seen over 10 times.
Even aside from childhood, because childhood movies.
No, even now.
I'll
pop in up and just watch it.
I've seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Nuts.
I saw that, I want to say 7 times in theaters. Yeah.
Oh, that
I
was
saw
your
that a lot.
formative
I do
film.
love that movie.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't
I
formative, it was
rewatched
past
Anchorman
formative,
for the second time recently, and I really enjoyed myself. And I was like, wow, this is a big deal for me.
If you wait
was
long
just
enough,
comforting.
it's like a new movie. Like you forget what happens.
I have a good memory, though.
That's sick. That's awesome.
that cat-sized elephant doesn't forget.
No, I don't know. I just almost would always rather have a new experience to assess. I mean, there are some movies like Star Wars that I just like keep watching because I like the comfort of the movie. But for me, it veers towards like, oh, I'm just kind of watching this because it's comfortable rather than I'm watching this to like see what happens next.
Well, when you're debating whether to go see a movie again or to see something new, you could use some guidance. You could use some advice. And in this world, it's cold and it's scary, and sometimes you don't know what to do, but there's one man you can turn to, and that man... Did you just kiss the mic?
Yeah, I kissed at the camera. Yeah.
So, when the moon hits your eye, like a big piece of advice, that's Bonsignore. This is advice that will go for miles with your host, Miles Bonsignore.
What's up, Miles Nation? How y'all doing tonight? Have you ever wanted to drown from the comfort of your own home?
What?
Have you ever wanted to be as fertile as a calf in heat?
Huh?
You're gonna want to Netti Pot, bitch. A Netti Pot is going to drown you in your own home. It's going to suction out every little bit of snot until you just can't take it anymore. I've been getting sick lately
Why are you here?
because I have to be.
we offer sick days.
I know I've used most of them.
Okay, well,
Well, ask for more. I don't want you to get me sick.
I won't get you sick. But I was on antibiotics for.
Tell me more about this.
You were on
Neti Pot.
antibiotics and you're here?
No. I was gone for the days when I was on antibiotics.
Right, back to the Neti Pot.
I use a Neti Pot often. A Neti Pot's a really good. I use it almost every day. It's a really good way to like get a salty sinus in your big up in there.
I think most people know what it is, but what is it for those who don't
For those
know?
of you who don't know, if you fill a tea, there's like a little thing called a Neti Pot. It's a plastic thing with a little a reservoir tip that you're going to fill with salty water. You're going to put it into your nose and you're going to do a little back bend, and it's going to splurge salty water through your sinus and out your other nostril. It feels like drowning. It's terrifying, but it really gets a crispy little dry sinus going on, which if you're having a sinus thing or a cold thing or a flu thing, it's going to get you where you want to go.
So it dries you?
It's going to
I've never done it.
it's a 3-step. It's a 3-step
Never
program.
done a Neti Pot?
I don't fuck with that.
I
It's-
didn't,
Are you serious?
I've never been in a place where I think I needed it.
I bet you would love it.
You would love it.
I'm not against it.
You love tea, right?
I loved it's like tea for your nose.
It's tea for your sinus, yeah. And but the first time you do it, it's scary because it feels like drown. Like your sinuses fill up with water, and you go, I can't breathe, but you can breathe. You just can't breathe out your nose because it's full of hot water.
Ned and I do have more nasally voices than you guys, and maybe it's because we just haven't neti potted,
Yeah, me
Yeah.
and Keith are
That's
probably
true.
Neti Potting all the time.
Yeah, you got an
call
Neti.
it a Netti Pot, right?
Yeah.
Neti.
Oh, hey.
Hey!
I like that.
It's been there all this time.
Is it with a D or with a T?
Netti.
I'm gonna call it a NEDDY pot.
I like that.
Personally, that's my truth.
So what though is who needs this in their life, Miles? What's the advice?
Neti Pots are preventative. It's a 3-step program.
Preventative.
Flush, dry, party. So the first one's going to flush out the sinus goop. The second one's going to dry out the sinus goop because the salt's going to be lingering there, and it's going to help you dry. Like, listen to this.
Oh.
That's me breathing, that's sniffing, me, and I could probably use an Neti Pot right now to flush and then dry and then party.
You're not taking secret sponsorships in your section of the podcast, are you?
Big Neti is in my corner. I do think this would be a very easy segment to throw a sponsor on.
Well, of course, as Eugene pointed out, I've destigmatized picking my nose, so I take care of what I need to take care of.
And I've got a big
Is
honker,
it
so
considered a homeopathic remedy? Doctors recommend it.
doctors do recommend it.
It
yeah.
literally
It's not
flushes
like
out your sinuses.
it's also like it's like saline solution. It's not like a googie boogie. Here you put rosemary in your nose and then you kind of like sing a little hymn and you're better.
I'm into that. Better watch out, or Big Rosemary's going to come after us for our correction.
I feel like I'm walking on eggshells now. I kind of just like, I'm used to just spouting bullshit and like, all right, that's our podcast. But now I'm like, wait,
Ugh.
we got the
People listen to it.
national director of olive oil breathing down my neck
And
over
if
here.
you're an insurance expert, please send us a quote for errors and omissions coverage.
we're comedy.
Yeah, it's comedy.
It's
This is a
comedy.
It's comedy.
all a
It's comedy.
Our
podcast.
founding fathers predicted this moment and they protected us. Well, we're back, baby. Get ready for some exciting group videos on the channel. Ooh, if you're listening to this and you are in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, or in Singapore, we didn't get to announce this last week, but we're going to Singapore. We're super amped. We're bringing our live show over there. We're
September 28th in Singapore, September 24th in Sydney, September 23rd in Melbourne.
we love announcing dates backwards.
Yeah,
Just
in
sending order.
reverse order. Well, you'll have more time to buy the Singapore tickets,
That's
but
true.
Melbourne is close to selling out.
Which is
so
super exciting.
get on it.
It's a dope show. We can't wait. Hopefully, we'll see you guys there. This has been the TryPod. Oh no, there's no Keith. Miles, Eugene,
Nope.
hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
I don't like this ending that we do.
Oh well, it's been a podcast, and Eugene is back, but Keith is gone. We forgot to tell you where Keith was in this episode, but he's not here. TryPod.
Until next time, stay beautiful.
I just realized we never told them that Keith wasn't here.
Oh yeah, make sure to tune in to Bring the Funny to watch Keith. He's doing that thing.
That's what he's working on
That's
right
what he's
now.
working on. Also subscribe to the TryPod, rate us 5 stars, and leave us a review. Okay, bye.